Hello there, welcome to our presentation. One of the most important decisions you'll make when starting a new business is to name your company. Selecting your new company's name is a thing that needs critical thinking because it defines your company and is an important part of your company's identity. Many people find it problematic to come up with a good name for their new company. I'll give you some awesome tips on how to successfully name your new company. Keep on watching and get my 15 ultimate tips on how to name your company. My first tip is that a successful company name should be short and powerful. Before I proceed, I would like you to think of these globally successful brands like Apple, Nike, Samsung and Pepsi. You'll see that these names, despite being short, are powerful as well. So you will need to make sure your company's name doesn't exceed 12 characters. Good company names should have bold texture and clarity. You immediately know a great brand's name when you see or hear it. These names are simple and easy to say. Your company's name should sound right when you say it. You'll need a name that's clear and easy to pronounce. You'll also want to avoid a name that has a difficult spelling. Remember, the easier your name is to pass across, the easier it will be for your customers to recall. My third tip: your company's name should be expandable and integrated. When you name your company, you don't want to pick a name that is too stereotyped to a specific place or product scope. So if you, for example, choose a name like Dallas Everyday Pizza Delivery Company, besides the fact that it's way too long, you are limiting yourself to Dallas and to a pizza delivery service. My fourth tip: you should avoid names with numbers, hyphens and other non-alphabetic characters. Generally speaking, numbers and hyphens will only get your customers confused. Tip number 5. Make sure the domain name is available. Nowadays, your domain name might be the first entrance to your company for the significant part of your customers. Make sure you select a name where you can buy the .com domain name or a domain name on one of the many new domain name endings like .cloud or .one. Moving on to tip number 6. Make sure that the name can be legally used. There's nothing that gives you a worse headache than coming up with an awesome name only to find that it's already in use somewhere else. You'll need a name that is highly unique to your business and doesn't infringe on the right of another company. Tip number 7. You should consider the global translation of your name. If you have the intention of marketing your goods and services outside of your home country, you will need a name that will be accepted universally. You can run the names you have in mind through Google Translate or any other translators to see if your name has the same meaning in other languages. My tip number 8. A good name must fit in the field in which you operate. You don't want to name your company Teddy Chemicals if you sell clothes, it just doesn't fit. Ensure that you select a name that works with your field. My 9th tip. Select a catchy and trendy name. Your company's name should be trendy and appealing to the ear. Don't pick a name that will sound old in a few years. It may take some critical thinking, but it's of a very high importance that you pick a name that flows with time. Going for tip number 10. Excellent company names don't favor competitors. You don't want to select a name that has anything similar to your competitor's name. If your competitor is bigger than you, you'll fall flat to your face. If you're still here, get this awesome tip number 11. Your company's name should be easy to shorten. You'll need a name that won't be difficult to shorten. For instance, Warner Bros. Can easily be shortened to WB. Acronyms like this help people to remember your company's name faster. Now for our tip number 12. Pick a name that is logo friendly and print friendly. Your company's name must be appealing to your customers' eyes. Be sure to consider how it looks on business cards, signs and stationeries. The better your company name looks, the more customers you'll get. Tip number 13. Try using coined names. You might haven't noticed it, but coined names tend to help you with a more creative and trendy company name, because they always have creativity written all over. My tip number 14. You should avoid unusual spellings. You'll want to avoid spelling your company's name in a way that will look meaningful to you, but like Greek to your customers. It is highly imperative that you use a name your customer will find easy to spell. And my final tip for you on how to name your company is to write down 100 names. This may sound like a lot of work to you, but it actually works. Write down as many names as possible. Some names might sound funny to you at first, but they may end up being that golden name you make use of. Even if you can't get a straight name out of the list, you might be able to combine two silly names to get an awesome one. By now, I believe you must be smiling as bright names come to your mind. Following these simple tips will help you a great deal on how to name your company. I hope you enjoyed this short video presentation. Have a great and productive brainstorm for your company name. See you on our next presentation, and please share to everyone you think would find these tips helpful.